The final rays of sun bled through the towering pines, painting long shadows across the forest floor. Elias checked his watch. 5:57 p.m. His phone, predictably, displayed no service. He'd underestimated the hike, grossly misjudged the setting sun, and now darkness was a hungry beast closing in. Panic, cold and sharp, pricked at the edges of his fear. He stumbled onward, his boots crunching on fallen leaves and twigs, the sound strangely amplified in the growing twilight. The air grew colder, the silence heavier, punctuated only by the occasional snap of a branch or the rustle of unseen creatures. He imagined eyes watching him from the shadows, a primal fear seizing him. Then he heard it. A faint, rhythmic tapping, like something wooden against stone. His heart hammered against his ribs. He stopped, straining his ears. The tapping continued, slow and deliberate, seemingly closer now. He scanned the deepening gloom, his breath misting in the cold air. He saw it then, a flicker of movement, a shape barely visible behind a cluster of ancient oaks. It was humanoid, tall and gaunt, its movements oddly stiff, unnatural. Fear gave way to a chilling fascination. He crept closer, adrenaline replacing the gnawing cold. The tapping stopped. He peered through the trees. The figure stood motionless, facing away from him, seemingly carved from the very shadows themselves. Then he noticed the clock, a large, ornate grandfather clock, standing incongruously in the middle of the forest, its pendulum swinging with a slow, measured tick-tock. The figure was leaning against it, its face obscured by the darkness. He took another step, his hand instinctively reaching for a rock. As he did, the figure turned. Its face was not a face at all, but a smooth, polished surface, like a mirror reflecting the dim light. He saw his own fear-stricken reflection staring back at him, distorted and magnified by the dark. Then, the clock struck 6. The figure didn't move, but the forest around them seemed to shift, to breathe. The trees twisted, the shadows danced, and the air crackled with an unseen energy. Elias felt a strange pull, a sensation of being drawn towards the clock, towards the reflection that was both himself and something else entirely. He stumbled backward, the rock slipping from his grasp. He turned and fled, the tapping of the clock's pendulum echoing in his ears, a relentless rhythm chasing him through the deepening shadows. He ran blindly, his lungs burning, his heart pounding. The image of the clock and its enigmatic guardian burned into his memory. He didn't stop running until he stumbled out of the forest, the first hint of dawn painting the eastern sky. He never looked back, never attempted to return, forever haunted by the chilling realization he had merely been seen,